scrap the entire intro.
Yeah,
just start off with you.
You start from the top.
All cold intro of me asking about sun chips and you two just ignoring me and having a conversation.
Brian's like, let's take this down a sun chip route. We're like, how about we make really off-base, horrible jokes the entire time that nobody finds funny? And you're like, but what about the sun chips? We're like, no. Yeah, honestly,
I don't know what are we doing different.
You've been with us this long.
It's the same every week.
You.
Pull up! All craft, pull up! It's a trap!
Welcome to Cannonballs, our weekly comedy podcast discussing Star Wars canon for the casual fan that posts on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes on Monday nights. If you can't get enough of us, you could watch us record live Sundays at 8 at twitch.tv/carcassboys, or you could also check us out playing some games. I'm Brian Carey, and I'm joined by my co-host, Aaron Laramie.
Carcass Boys.
Matt Martirosian. And Wesley, an enchanted blade blessed with our most potent magics, Isaac. This week on Cannonballs, we're discussing the plot of episodes 13 to 17 of Clone Wars. Season 3, episodes 13 to 17 of Clone Wars, where we meet Darth Maul's brother and Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka meet the ghosts of Star Wars past, present, and future. Timestamps are in the description. So how are we doing tonight? I noticed Aaron speed eating some sun chips. How'd that go?
What? Sun chips? I don't like sun chips.
I don't think I've ever had a sun chip.
They taste like the sun.
Yeah. They're very bright.
Imagine you put your mouth on the sun, but it tastes gross, and that's what a sun chip
Would
tastes
you
like.
say it unleashes the power of the sun?
No, that's sun chip D.
Like an orange juice.
Yeah.
Like an orange
sort of
drink.
If you combine, I have a question. If you combine Sun Chips and Sunny D, do you get Chip D or do you get Sunny Sunny? Do you hold the power of the sun in the palm of your hand and then your wife gets killed because you decided to create this reactor in a room full of glass?
Well, do I need precious tritium to do this reaction?
You absolutely do. And you're going to rob a bank instead of robbing the place that has the tritium.
Well, yeah. How else am I supposed to buy tritium?
Just rob the tritium factory. Like, he's like, who's he buying it from? He goes, what does he show up with a bunch of gold bars? He's like, hey, I'm the guy with the 8 arms that's totally like can kill everybody, but I'm gonna buy the tritium. Be like, dude, just kill the people. Like, who's his supplier? And
Well,
who's
if
dealing
he
in
did
gold?
that, that'd be illegal. We gotta get Marty a ring light because he looks like he is in witness protection right now.
Yeah,
He is.
you guys.
Talk through a voice modulator.
Yeah, either a ring light or a voice modulator. Either one, whichever one we decide. One of the, honestly, whatever's cheaper.
Actually, you know what? I'll contribute in a way that may work. Where did Carcass come from? It could be like a plug to your Twitch. I have no idea where Carcass.
Yeah. So I'll start by plugging the Twitch again. We're twitch.tv/carcassboys now for our gaming stuff, and we're gonna have a YouTube channel. I'll set that up once I figure out what sort of schedule we could hit. But Wes, do you wanna tell the origin of Carcass Boys?
I would love to tell the origin of Carcass Boys. So me and Brian have been friends for a long time now. So every now and then I'll get invited to holidays. You say New Year's?
I said 2 years, but go on.
I said New Year's. I was like, it wasn't New Year's. So I got invited to his mom's Thanksgiving. And being a gentleman and a scholar, I showed up like an adult. We were hanging out. Everything was good. And Brian got to carve the turkey. So he was the carcass boy. So he's carving up the carcass, you know? And then we may have had.
That's what boys do.
That's what boys do. And then we may have had like a couple drinks, maybe were involved, some alcohol, and then there's just like a carcass left over. It's just turkey carcass. And me and Brian were like, why don't we just pick off this carcass like vultures?
Yeah.
So we huddled over the carcass and started just ripping meat off of this carcass.
Yeah, we dropped it to the floor and went down on our haunches like a catcher. We were like Mike
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
What just happened?
Mike Piazza and Joe Mauer.
Brian pulls a baseball reference out of left
We're
field.
down on our
and I'm
haunches
just
picking at the
awestruck right now.
carcass.
And we were just picking at the carcass.
So Brian just put himself in a compromising position because for people to understand why that baseball reference there is funny, he has to keep in Wes and Marty's baseball references from earlier and not edit them out. So you put yourself in a significant predicament, I think.
So yeah, there's a lot of Carcass Boy family out there. If you ever shared a carcass with me or Brian, welcome to the Carcass Boys.
Okay, so that's how Aaron got in. I'm just now I have to.
I don't even know if Aaron is actually a Carcass Boy.
Aaron, have
Aaron
you
had
ever
a
got
carcass-
down on your
I've been to
haunches?
multiple Friendsgivings. How is that not? Oh, I haven't. I don't know if I've been on my haunches with you guys.
Well, that's the point.
You always want to talk about Star Wars.
Oh, come on. We can keep this intro going.
Yeah, this has been the most solid intro we've had
Why
in a
don't we
while.
just never get to it?
What, talking about
we
Star
don't
Wars?
talk about, we post that we talk about the episodes, and then through the whole episode, we don't actually ever talk about them.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
This-
Timestamps
That'd
are all
be a crazy
wrong.
direction to take the podcast, Brad. A Star Wars podcast that doesn't actually talk about Star Wars. It'd be pretty bold. I like it.
That's game changing, groundbreaking, if you will.
So yeah,
The entire thing's just about the Mets.
It's really about Mike Piazza.
Welcome,
it's about talking about Star
welcome to
Wars.
Piazza Balls.
Season 3, episode 13, Monster. So this is directly after the last episode we covered last week, Nightsisters.
Makes sense.
Mother Talzin, the head of the Nightsisters, who I guess is mother to Ventress. Everyone calls each other sister, and I'm like, why is this one mother? It's never
Does
quite
mother
explained.
mean mom?
Who knows?
I have no idea.
We'll
Who's
find
to
out on
say?
the next episode of Carcass Boys.
So we ended with Mother Talzin saying, hey, maybe you should have a mail from Dathomir to Dooku, who just lost his assassin / apprentice Ventress. So Count Dooku travels to Dathomir to meet Mother Talzin, who says, hey, we're going to give you a mail from Dathomir. He's
Does she talk
actually...
like that?
Like what? Like my voice, or what do you mean?
Yeah, no, like he just shows up and she's like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna give you a mail," and he's like, "Oh, I just got here." And she's like, "No, I already know why you're here. Like, hey, it's cool. Have this dude train him and stuff."
I meant to do an impression of Mother Talzin for your middle name in the
fuck.
intro. It was
Can you do it now?
for you. We have an enchanted blade, blessed with all our most potent magics.
Ooh.
It was a 4 out of 10 if you saw the episode, but it's the right cadence at least.
Yeah. Probably a 4 out of 10 is a good one.
Yeah.
That's accurate. 3.5.
I'm gonna scribble it
A
there.
good one the other week. I forget what it was, but it
It
was really good.
It was Zero's mom. So Mother Talzin mentions to Dooku that the person they're going to offer to Dooku is kin of Darth Maul. She was like, hey, you remember Darth Maul? And he's like, oh yeah, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi killed him. She's like, yeah, we could get you his brother. And he's like,
Is it gonna be like a Michael Jordan's son situation where they're like, hey, this is Michael Jordan's son we got here.
Marcus
And
Jordan.
you're like, oh man, this is gonna be
Who
great.
doesn't want to draft
And then it
LeBron
turns out-
James's son?
All right, so the whole plan is Mother Talzin and Ventress are going to kind of plant a sleeper to get back at Dooku. There seems to be some sort of history between Talzin and Dooku. It's never touched upon in any canon, but Talzin is either just sticking up for Ventress, or maybe Dooku wronged her in the past. But they're gonna send him someone from Dathomir who will join up with Ventress and kill Dooku. That's the whole plan. So Ventress travels to the other side of Dathomir, where they keep the men.
Dathomir is just a planet of middle school dances.
Basically.
Men on one side, men on the other.
Honestly, it took me a second, Marty. I was like, all right, elaborate.
They all kind of fight each other. There seems to be some guy in charge of the town. We don't learn his name, but she makes them all line up, and she's like, all right, we're going to test you to see who's going to join me to, become some assassin. You're going to work for me. So they're all willing and subservient, but
she's like, do you want a job? And they're like, yeah, I would love a job. How do you feel about really old guys who also played wizards in other films? And they're all like, we love those guys. Well, then I got a treat for you.
She runs them through some trials, kicks all their asses, and is like, none of you are worthy, but they keep going. There's one of the Zabrek, the males there, is protecting one of them that's named Farrell. So there's Savage, not Savage.
I believe it's pronounced Pharrell.
Savage and Pharrell.
Is he a multi-platinum recording artist that only puts out garbage music? Because that makes sense.
Only the best from Dathomir.
So it's hard to tell. So we've confirmed Savage and Maul are actual brothers, but in this society, they're all calling each other brother. So I'm not sure if
brother
Pharrell is his actual brother.
Yeah,
or
they're big Hulk Hogan fans.
Yeah. Savage is protecting Pharrell through this whole thing, and eventually Ventress chooses Savage because he gave her the best fight, and they bring him back to the lady's side, and they perform this ritual on him, and it basically it's Steve Rogers is him. So he's already kind of built, so it's not just like Steve Rogers, but then he just gets massive, like fucking 7 feet tall. His horns grow bigger. He's jacked. So the magic that the Nightsisters use on Savage is dark side magic. Not only does it make him bigger, his horns bigger, it also infects his mind. So he is now completely subservient to the Nightsisters. And
was he super chill before? He was just like,
he was protective of Pharrell, but to test the ritual, they bring in Pharrell and have Savage kill him.
Oh, fuck me. Oh,
he's not happy.
That's terrible. So,
I don't know any other lines.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that why Pharrell's music career stopped 10 years ago?
I don't know if I could name more than that song of Pharrell. Happy.
No,
he doesn't. Savage Opress yet? Is that technically his name yet? Or
his last name's Opress. Does that mean Maul's last name is Opress?
Opress too.
No, his last name was Free, and then they oppressed him and made him kill his buddy Pharrell. They're like, we're gonna change your name, bro. You're gonna be oppressed forever.
That's kind of what I'm asking. Is that a title he's given later?
Savage is his name, and then I don't know if Oppress was his last name or just added later. But Savage is his name from the start. Anyway, so they give him an enchanted blade, drop him off with Dooku, and Dooku's like, sweet, let's test you out, big man. And he sends him on a mission.
He's like, fucking Darth Maul 2.0, bitch. Let's go.
Are you coming on to me, pal?
He's like,
you sure are a specimen. So he sends him on a mission to take back a Jedi, well, not take back a Jedi temple, but attack a Jedi temple on Deveron with some separatist forces. He mauls everybody. He doesn't have a lightsaber yet.
I'm not lie, that was one of the more badass scenes in Star Wars.
That's in poor taste.
Oh yeah. He kills 2 Jedi without a lightsaber. He just has this battle axe looking thing, and he just dodges and then just pummels them. when he returns successfully, Dooku's like, "Ah, sweet, now we could kill Palpatine." So
We're ready.
Palpatine
Finally.
was like, "Oh man, I don't like this strong apprentice. Better kill him because, I don't believe you don't want to kill me." And Dooku's like, "Oh, I'll kill this apprentice." So, season 3, episode 14, Witches of the Mist. The Jedi are investigating the bodies of the Jedi that were killed by Savage. They immediately suspect it's a new assassin for Dooku.
Yep.
Obi-Wan sees it and was just like, "I thought Darth Maul was dead." And they're like, "Obi-Wan, don't tell me you think all Zabrak look the same. That is someone else."
He looks black and yellow. Like,
Yeah.
Come on, Obi-Wan. What are we doing here?
So Dooku is training Savage in the dark side. Right now he's just a big guy who has a sword. Gives him the classic...
Aren't we all?
So Dooku gives Savage a nice double-sided lightsaber. And
Oh shit.
he's basically like, "Oh, dude, you're fucking raw talent and you kind of suck," and starts torturing him with force lightning. So Dooku's trying to trigger some hate and anger, and Savage is like, "I hate you," and that's about it. Dooku's like, "Oh, good, hate me more."
It's working.
Hate me more.
Hate me so good. Oppress me.
Tie me up and choke me. Too far.
Well, I'm just wondering what the point of tying you up would be if you could also just use the force to hold you still.
Brian didn't pause because he was thinking about moving on. He was pausing, thinking about the semantics of the situation. How logistically it would work out.
It's like, tie me up and then use your magic to squeeze my neck.
It's like, yeah, use your dark side sex magic on me, Dooku. And he's like, "Wait, what?"
Where was I? Anakin and Obi-Wan head to Dathomir. They know that's where Darth Maul's from. They realize that Savage has to be kin of Darth Maul. And they go to the village he came from. They all attack them immediately. Anakin holds that village elder I mentioned in the last episode hostage. And he's just like, "Yo, dude, it's clearly not us who run this planet. Go talk to Mother Talzin." And so they head on over, and they're basically like, "Oh yeah, no, I gave Dooku that guy, but really, there's nothing you can do about it."
Also,
Big Mommy T is pulling all the strings.
Yeah. She's like, "Yeah, I gave him to Dooku, but he's his problem now." Now, Dooku asks Savage to go kidnap King Katunko. He's the king of the Wattos. Mother Talzin is like, "All right, well, we know Savage is headed to get King Katunko from Toydaria right now." And once the Jedi leave, Mother Talzin's like, "Hey, Ventress, you should go enact your plan now. Go kill Dooku with Savage." So Obi-Wan and Anakin meet Savage on Toydaria. He fights off Anakin and Obi-Wan, but in his rampage accidentally kills the king by kind of just ragdolling him around.
Rampage.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Did he ask the king if he watched Regis this morning before he killed him? Or
Did you watch Regis this morning?
terms of enrampagement?
So Dooku's pissed that the king's been killed. He starts torturing Savage again. He's like, "Ah, you fucking big dumb animal. Why'd you do that?" And
I
he's
bet
like,
you're
"Oh,
like
I'm
this.
sorry."
Don't you? I bet you're like this. And he keeps like electrocuting him.
No, Ventress walks in on Savage being tortured and
she's like, "I'll
reveals...
come back later." I'm sorry. I didn't know this what was going on. I'll come back later.
She reveals that Savage is loyal to her, and they both start attacking Dooku. Ventress gets pissed at Savage, and kind of
Why?
because he's not fully trained.
Why is she mad at him?
She's just an angry person too.
No, she played this whole thing wrong.
Like Frankenstein getting mad at the monster.
Yeah, right. It's like, why aren't you smarter?
It is like Frankenstein getting mad at the monster, which I think happens in Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're fighting Dooku. Ventress gets mad at Savage, who then just gets angry, and it's like when a Pokemon's confused, he just starts attacking them both.
Oh.
They get split up. Obi-Wan and Anakin are now fighting Savage because they showed up to the party on Serrano. Ventress is isolated against Dooku, and she's got to run away. Now, Dooku then orders some droids to kill Savage. He escapes to Dathomir, and Mother Talzin's like, hey, you remember your brother, Darth Maul? Well, he's alive, and he's on the Outer Rim, and you should go talk to him for some training.
Yeah, he only got cut in half and thrown down an elevator shaft, but he landed onto these robotic legs somehow, and they just plugged right into his cut in half torso. Like he was falling down, he just landed right on them. I don't know how it happened.
Hey, the dark side works in mysterious ways. All right, Season 3, Episode 15, Overlords. Now, this next 3-episode arc gets a little wacky, a little out there, which I'm cool with Star Wars doing. I always say they're high fantasy in space, so they could do whatever the fuck they want.
There's no rules.
There are no rules. They make their own rules, but I think it gets a little convoluted. Marty, you like these next 3 episodes, right?
I think they're interesting in only one aspect.
Oh, well, we'll find out. So
the aspect I told you, but so
episode.
Keep listening.
Obi-Wan,
You'll find out why I think it's kind of cool.
Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka are off to investigate this old Jedi distress signal. It's 2,000 years old. So they
Jesus Christ.
head to the...
Plus, they took their time responding.
Don't worry, guys. I'll be here in a few minutes. I'll hit this distress signal. Somebody will show up. 2,000 years later.
2,000 years later.
I'm just a fucking skeleton person, like holding on to the button, like my ship crashed. I just needed some help. I'm just fucking hitting the button, like, please, somebody.
I could survive like a year or 2.
So they are supposed to meet Captain Rex there. And they radio him because he's not there, and he's like, no, I'm at the coordinates, you're not there.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Well, that's really weird. They see this giant cube thing that sucks their ship in, and the whole screen goes white. And when they wake up, their ship is landed safely on this planet that is like this green oasis. There's these floating rocks everywhere, and they can't quite see where they are on their space GPS. They have no idea where they are. So they land. This tall, blonde woman pops up and asks Anakin if he is the one. And Obi-Wan and Ahsoka are like, whoa, because they kind of believe in the prophecy that Anakin's the chosen one. We learn Anakin isn't a big believer in that, but she's like, oh, cool, let me take you to the Father.
He's like, will you take the red pill or the blue pill?
Yeah, it's kind of a Neo situation, it seems. So we meet the woman is the daughter. She transforms into this like griffin type thing. I guess it's like an eagle, lion with wings. Now there's also the son who transforms into a gargoyle. It's very, very clear early on that the daughter represents the light side, the son the dark side, just because the son is all like evil and pale and red. He looks like a Sith, but
he's got like fucking emo music blasting, and he's like, I don't care.
It does look like an.
He's got like a My Chemical Romance T-shirt. You're like, wow, that guy's pretty emo.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, we're gonna leave. He's like, well, so long and good night. It's My
I'm
Chemical
off the Hot Topic again.
reference right there for all the My Chemical Romance listeners.
They meet the son. Anakin accuses him of being Sith, and he kind of scoffs at this. He's like, dude, I'm way bigger than Sith, Jedi. That's all bullshit. I'm just fucking Force, dude.
California.
So he's a
That's
surfer.
right.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan and Ahsoka get separated from Anakin because of something the sun causes. The sun, like the son of the father, not in the
they
sky.
meant like skin cancer or something.
Yeah, I will not reference a star that heats a planet in this episode. If I say the sun, just know I'm talking SON. So Anakin goes and leads himself to the father, who says, hey, we're the ones who guard the power. We're the beginning, the middle, the end. They're these godlike Force users. So what we get from this is, son, dark side, daughter, light side. The father is the one who balances them, keeps them from overtaking one another. So the siblings just fight. Now, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka have to go stay in a cave for the night.
Sure.
And while they're there, Obi-Wan's visited by the ghost of Qui Gon Jin, who is actually voiced by Liam Neeson in the episode. That's what happened. Is Qui-Gon's like, hey, did you train the boy? He's we're gonna find out if he's the chosen one here. The father will let you know.
He's like, oh, he's a good boy, but he seems a little fucked up. Like, did you know he murdered a bunch of Tusken Raiders? Like, that hasn't happened yet. And he's like, oh, no, you'll see it.
So Ahsoka is visited by a future version of herself.
Oh my god, Ahsoka future.
Basically, future Ahsoka is just like, hey, Anakin's kind of sown some seeds of the dark side in you by his training. So watch out for that guy. Anakin, while sleeping in the father's palace, is visited by Shmi Skywalker, his mom. Basically, Shmi is actually the son. All of these visions may be the son. It's not clear, but we definitely know Shmi is the son, playing a trick on Anakin. And Shmi is saying, oh, your love for Padme is really a prison. It's not actual love and all this stuff. And obviously Anakin doesn't take any sort of emotional stuff well.
This house is a prison on planet bullshit and the galaxy of this sucks camel dick.
Once Anakin wakes up, he goes and accuses the father of doing this. This is where the father reveals, hey, I'm just the guy who balances dark and light, and I think you're the chosen one, so I need a replacement because I'm getting old. We'll do a little test, and then we'll see if you're the chosen one, and you can be on your way. Like, all right, sure. Cool. So the test ends up being the son and the daughter both grab Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, and one of them is going to be killed, and Anakin must choose. And what ends up happening is, because the planet is basically like a conduit for all of the Force, he kind of uses his power and controls both the son and the daughter. The father is like, oh, sweet, you could do it. I want to retire. Will you stay? And he's like, nah. And so the father's like, well, all right, I'm not going to make you. Thanks for coming. And they leave the planet.
Did he give him like his business card so when he's ready to retire, he can just call him? Or
It's just as the father. They are season 3, episode 16. They are leaving Mortis, the planet there that the father, daughter, and son live on. And Anakin has this vision of the sun, destroying the Jedi and the Sith. And it just so happens the son snuck aboard the ship and has kidnapped Ahsoka. So they have to stay on the planet. So Ahsoka's being held in this tower. The planet's kind of cut in half. Like, there's a dark side, a light side. Father lives in the middle. Ahsoka's on the dark side, and she's in this prison. And this character who I described as Dobby-like, but like a demon-y Dobby, is
crossed
like,
my mind, but mostly because there was a Potter-thon on this weekend.
Oh. Is like interacting with her, just like, oh, I don't think your master's coming. You're not going to get out. I'll let you out, though. And so he lets her out and then bites her, and it reveals that he was just the son in disguise. And this bite has poisoned Ahsoka's mind, and she's now like Dark Ahsoka. She's all veiny and stuff.
Can you send me that timestamp for that when that happens?
I gotcha. Well, meanwhile, Obi-Wan and Anakin are disagreeing on how best to approach this situation. Anakin's like, nah, we should rush in guns blazing and attack the sun and get Ahsoka back. And Obi-Wan's like, we should probably talk to the father. He seems to, know what's going on this planet. Anakin disagrees. He says, oh, father's just an old man. He can't control them anymore, blah, blah, blah. Runs off. Now, meanwhile, the daughter is going to help Obi-Wan. She brings him to an altar that has this blade that is supposed to be able to control the sun. Now, Anakin shows up to the dark side of the planet. Ahsoka's attacking, kind of saying things that Anakin said about Obi-Wan. Oh, you don't trust me. You're not a good teacher. All this kind of Padawan,
it's not fair,
master stuff. So part of me wondered, is this Ahsoka thinking that, or something the sun planted in her? It's not clear, but obviously that hurt Anakin, because you'd think him as a master, he wants to do things differently since he didn't always get along with Obi-Wan. Anyway, Obi-Wan gets the blade, the son and the daughter fight. Ahsoka's still bad. She wrestles away the blade from Obi-Wan, and then the son accidentally stabs the daughter.
Oh, no.
The light side god is now dead, and the dark side god gets all emo, and he's like, oh, you're really the only one here I loved, and kind of runs away. The daughter, with her last bit of power, saves Ahsoka. She's no longer dark side. Last episode of the week, Ghosts of Mortis. So the father in the last episode tells Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, all right, you can go. I'll handle the son. Do whatever you want.
And he just takes his belt off and he's like, I got this. And like,
I know how to handle the boy. So they need to fix up their ship because it was sabotaged by the sun when he snuck in to steal Ahsoka away. Obi-Wan shows up. Or no, Qui-Gon's ghost shows up. And who's he talk to? I didn't write it. I think he talks to Anakin here. Who's he talk to the second time, Marty?
Oh, well.
You're going to hate this. This is the one episode I hadn't seen yet.
Well, that's fine. Qui-Gon's ghost shows up and talks to somebody.
It's Anakin.
And
I
think it's Anakin, because Anakin's like, oh, he told me to leave, but I don't know, I feel like I should kill the sun or stay and manage the planet like he asked. And Qui-Gon's like, or do neither.
Qui-Gon's
that solves everything, Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon's like, wouldn't you be happier if you just did nothing at all? And it's like,
all hail the magic conch. So Qui-Gon says, hey, you'll bring balance to the Force after you face your demons. And he's like, well, I'm not quite sure what that means, but you know what? I decided I'm going to go talk to the sun and then probably kill him. So Anakin is on his way to the well of the dark side. And the sun shows up and he shows him Anakin's future. And we get a little flash forward of him killing Padawans, him becoming Darth Vader. He shows him the whole future. And the son's like, hey, if you side with me, we could destroy the Emperor and rule the galaxy with peace and justice.
That sounds like a good deal.
Basically, if you don't want to join the dark side, join the dark side. Obi-Wan shows up, and the well of the dark side deliberately looks just like Mustafar, where the battle between those two happen in the future. And Anakin's like, I know you won't get it, but I gotta join the sun to stop this future from happening. So he joins up with the son. They're gonna go kill the father. Obi-Wan's like, well, fuck, we're in trouble now. Meets up with Ahsoka. They go find the father.
Sure.
Father ends up wiping Anakin's memory. He's just like, yeah, dude, you can't really bring balance to the Force if you're reacting to the future. And they come up with this weird plan where the father stabs himself to get a reaction from the son, who was going to try to kill him anyway. And then Anakin ends up stabbing him in the back, even though lightsabers didn't work on these guys in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, but now they do, so...
And basically everyone on that planet died after Anakin showed up. Father, son, daughter, they're all dead. So the planet collapses. They wake up on the ship where they left off, and Rex is like, hey, where'd you go? We lost you for a few moments. And Anakin's like, a few moments? We've been gone a while. And he's like, what are you talking about?
Is this Interstellar? This is the plot to Interstellar.
Tried 3 episodes.
There's like this weird like wink and nod to the camera after where Rex is like, what do you mean you've been gone? And
it's been
he's like,
a long time.
You wouldn't understand if we told you. I'm like, it was so fucking weird, those 3 episodes.
That sounds awesome.
Marty, what did you think since you've seen those episodes?
So the only reason I found them interesting is because Ahsoka has this owl. It's just like a spirit animal, a guardian or whatever, and so
Guardian of Gahul.
It shows up in.
I saw that owl movie.
It shows up It shows up later in Clone Wars. It shows up in Rebels, and it shows up in The Mandalorian, where when Ahsoka's in the woods. Well, before you see Ahsoka and Jaren's looking in the woods for Ahsoka, there's like an owl on a tree, and that's supposed to be a foreshadow that you're going to get Ahsoka. And that's the owl is because of the daughter. I guess it's a condor, and the condor was like a guardian to the daughter in some aspect. So when the life form transferred over to Ahsoka, she inherited this guardian condor. Because I forgot about where the owl's origin was, and it referenced the story, so it was nice to go back and like actually see what it was, but even though there wasn't really any mention of an owl.
Aaron, what do you think when Star Wars gets weird?
So I was going to say, I have to say, I didn't watch the episodes, but you like describing it. I get why you feel like it was a little out there, and maybe you're like, this was like a little forced and weird and like kind of janky in its execution, but like, I think Star Wars needs more of that, like,
I agree,
kind of going into the outskirts, like them, like the idea of sort of these neutral force gods, like good and evil. Like, I don't hate that story. It's just, I get that the execution wasn't, ideal in your mind.
It adds to the lore and whatnot. I agree. Apparently these guys are referenced a couple more times in the future, but yeah, it's a big universe. You have no rules physically.
There's no rules.
I was gonna say when they go out there and they bring in Liam Neeson. Like, if we're gonna go really far out there, Qui Gon Jin is gonna be the guest appearance to kind of explain all this for us.
I would have thought that's something that he wouldn't have given a shit about.
Yeah, Liam Neeson wants to be back.
Yeah. That's cool that he would follow up with that character, because I feel like that's a pretty beloved, maybe not beloved, but like I feel like people look back on that character with fondness. So to have him like pop in for the Obi-Wan like TV show or whatever, his cameo ends up being, would be pretty cool.
Wes, what did you think of the Mortis planet arc? This funky story.
Rigor Mortis.
Mortis arc, same sort of idea. I think the execution is probably lacking, but if you're gonna, you can only do so much shit with Star Wars that we all have seen. Like there's been 9 feature films, and then you have all the fucking spin-off TV shows and shit. So it's always good when it's something a little bit different. So I'm fine with it. Obviously I think the execution could have been a little bit better, but I didn't watch any of it, so I can't really say anything.
I think it's a great switch up from, oh man, we went to this planet and there's a pirate problem.
Oh yeah.
I like pirate problems though. I'm a big pirate fan, so Arg made.
We are called cannonballs, so
yeah, Arg. Poof arg.
Arcus boys.
Carcass.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is good. That
Needs
is
more
rich.
A's and R's.
Well, I'm still excited to watch more Clone Wars. This is our last season of 22 episodes. Not super important. I think season 4 is 20. But
Great job, guys.
I think in a couple weeks we'll be more than halfway through Clone Wars. And then I've got
yeah.
like a backlog of books and comics in between. We may just skip and go High Republic. We're gonna go way back, all the way to the beginning.
Yeah, great.
Which
That's what they like.
That'd be great.
Give them what they want,
That's what
Brian.
that's what the fans have been
prequel to the
clamoring for.
prequel.
That's what
Yeah.
they're clamoring for.
All our comments are just High Republic. When are you guys doing High
When
Republic?
are
Finally.
you guys doing High Republic?
Yeah, we hear you guys.
Where's the High Republic? I'm like, I don't know. I'm
Twitch
sorry.
chat is
There's,
just blowing up.
And this will tell you.
It's all of us. We're just high discussing the Republic.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Like
This will tell you a
government-
lot about how Disney is and the state of the company. But there is a completely canon novel in the High Republic timeline that is only in Mandarin. There's someone.
Are you gonna read
on-
that one?
Well, there's someone on the Star Wars canon subreddit that has translated it and like worked
Sure.
with some other English and Mandarin speakers. But yeah, it's very interesting to me that Disney would put something in canon that is only in one language.
I love it.
You know, a language with a huge movie-going population.
Yeah. The Republic can do no wrong. Give all your information to the Republic. Love the Republic.
Well, you know our translation, the backstroke of the West, Sith the West. The West are the bad guys
Oh,
when
yeah.
you translate it.
Oh, they are.
That was rough.
Oh man.
That was rough.
All right, boys. Any of you have a sign off?
No.
I've got something.
I'll set you up. You ready?
Yes.
Allie?
You say at least what? At least are you ready?
Oh, I said yes.
Good. And as we always say on Cannon Balls podcast,
Use your dark side sex magic on me, Dooku.